Okay, so those of you that are interested in this is inside the news stuff, we're going to get started.
That's all right, man. Take care.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
So we can have everybody take your seats, please.
Okay.
We learned more about what's going on.
Okay, first of all, as I always do, if we can have you guys either move off, you guys up here in the front, if you guys can move off to the side or have a seat, we'd really appreciate it. Okay, those of you that have questions, as we always do, we open up with questions. Prime Minister's questions thing, something like that, 904. Anyway, any questions about anything that's going on right now? Yes, sir? How are the Bundys doing? The Bundys are still in jail. There is obviously a lot of talk about stuff going on. There has been some motions that have been made, and that's really all I have right now. I can tell you that if we could have you guys quiet down back there, you're stepping on me, and that's not good.
Take care.
Being a teacher, of course, back in the day. Anyway, they are, the Bundys are doing what they're doing. Cliven, of course, is still, I believe, in solitary confinement, as are the other two Bundys. So now, of course, this is all the Patriot Act. You have to understand that. I can tell you that we are engaging in information back and forth from some people because Jeanette Finicum, Lavoy Finicum's wife, will be here October 28th in this room to talk about Lavoy's murder at the hands of the FBI. And I had an opportunity to talk last week to an FBI agent who's active. And the reason I know two, personally I know two, and I've known them for a while. And these guys, of course, the Jim Comey thing and all that stuff, we have complete lawlessness now. We're moved into that. And this is all by design. This is their design to do this, to bring us to a point of lawlessness and lack of faith in the government and so on. It's all designed. It's all designed. Ladies. Can we ask you to move off to the side, please, because you're kind of distracting us here. This is all by design so that you are broken down and have no faith in the Constitution and the rule of law by the Constitution. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And that, of course, is the reason why they are so, and especially Comey, we have now found out all the facts about Comey because it was Wyden, one of the senators from Oregon, and one of the other senators, I can't remember his name right now, who went to Jim Comey during the height of the refuge situation. And they went to Comey and said, and this has been reported here locally, I think it was in the Appeal Democrat, it was in the New York Times, all around the nation at the time. They went there to talk to Comey, to lay the law down, and say to Comey that we need to stop the spread of the virus. And that was because Bundys and Finicum were teaching the Constitution with Chris Ann Hall. She was there 3 days, actually. And she will be at the Liberty Tour coming up on the 28th and 9th, by the way. So we'll get a first-time accounting from her. And so what their situation is that they wanted to stop them, and that's why they planned the assassination. Their goal was to wipe out everybody in the caravan, to kill everybody in the caravan. That was their goal. And it didn't work. And it didn't work because Lavoy turned off the side of the road into the snowbank and took away all the aiming points from all the snipers that had lined the highways on each side because it was an L-shaped military-style ambush setup. So, I mean, and they took 2 days to prep the site. What's that tell you? That's called we are planning to assassinate people. That came at the order of the White House, Valerie Jarrett, Obama, and David Axelrod. So we're going to be covering the territory. Just recently, there has been a fantastic forensic video done by some forensic people of the entire assassination. and the way the road is laid out and everything. Anybody seen that video yet? I think Thomas recommended it to me. It's up on our website. You can see it. It's very, very well done. We now know the answer as to why he was reaching for his hip. And the reason is he was hit with a rubber bullet in his hip. Well, I'm not clear yet, and I have been trying to talk to Fred Kelly Grant because he's still working on this case about shrapnel wounds in the same area, because there was a bullet that hit the top of the truck, splintered out, and we think it broke the window where Lavoie was standing in front of it as he has his hands up in the air. But the rubber bullet hit his hip. It was shot deliberately at him by an FBI agent, which drew his hands down to the hip, and then he was shot in the back 3 times by an FBI agent. And it's interesting, the FBI agents, and this is a part of our investigation, is that the FBI agents, there were 5 on the scene at the time, those FBI agents kind of quickly disappeared and 5 more came on scene. We believe these guys were mercenary, hired murderers. And we had reports of this, of mercenaries being in Burns, Oregon, a good 10 days before the assassination. We were tracking this. So there's even video of some of them, and we have the video. So that's where it stands. So you asked about the Bundys, and I can bring you that. And like I said, we invited with Church of Glad Tidings to have Jeanette Finicum here. I think it will be a very compelling, very important presentation by her about what's going on in our government. But that's the state of our government right now. They're just out randomly. If you notice, so far we're counting that the number of mass murders under this presidency is over 80 now. 3 per event murdered at a scene is a mass murder by Mother Jones. That's their standard. Ronald Reagan had 7 in 8 years. Bill Clinton had 23, and both the Bushes had 15 each. I mean, this guy's just killing Americans. That's really what it's all about. He's a radical Islamic terrorist. That's why he doesn't like to be offended and called that. But I have no problem calling him that on the radio daily. I've gotten only one objection. Somebody was going to kill me for it, and I said, bring it on, baby. Yeah.
What do you think about this internet now not being in control? In other words, they turned over our internet.
Right. I can. Yeah, I can. This was something that Obama has planned out, and it's planned out in coordination with the Chinese ultimately and the United Nations. And it's starting slowly. It's being very, very much downplayed by the media. Look in the next 6 months to see changes. They can't bring it about right now as rapidly, but they can't shut it down at any time now. And I'm not trying to put fear out there. I'm just saying if you go to try and pull up your computer and there's no internet, well, there's no internet. Because it's not under our complete control now anymore.
What I heard, Paul, what I read, was that there were 4 states that tried to fight this.
Right.
But the judge in the state of Texas overturned it.
As an Obama appointee. Right. Right. That's right.
Am I correct?
You're correct. Right. And he refused to hear the case. So that's that one. The other one, too, is about the IMF. People were wondering about China taking over the reserve currency. And Red Smith and I reported this, and have actually Red and Mark Kent and Linda Kent up in Reading have been doing a fantastic job of reporting what's been going on with the world monetary situation over the last 18 months. And I've been fortunate enough to work with them. They come on the radio all the time with me, and I'm on their show. But they have been excellent at reporting what's been going on. And we have been pointing this out to our public that the financial situation all over the world is terrible. And it's Keynesian economics, which means, you know, if you have a debt, no problem, we'll just print more money. No backing behind it, like no gold standard, so we'll just do that. So you have all these currencies out there. You have the euro, you have the dollar, you have the yuan, you have the franc, you have the pound sterling, and all these currencies are not backed by anything except the yuan, which is backed by dollar or gold. And Obama has managed to move just about all of our gold assets offshore and into the hands of China secretively. And this has been reported to me, we had actually Dr. Jim Garrow on a couple of years ago warning people about this. So just, now, I'll give you an example. There's in Canada, Trudeau, who's a converted Catholic into Islam, he has, I don't know if you know that, it's kind of common with these guys, he had made the announcement that they don't worry about gold or reserves in Canada. In fact, the reserve value of gold in Canada today is at 78 ounces for the nation of Canada. I said 78 ounces. That's it.
How are they making all those dollars then?
They have something called a printing press. And
Gold dollars. They're making 99% gold.
I don't believe. Well, they probably buy the gold and mint it. They buy it out, or they have gold in the country. But you know, you have all these globalists that Hillary Rodham Clinton has been associated with, who's been selling off all of our gold assets and everything. So, you know, through the Clinton Foundation and that sort of thing. But one of the big things was Jim Comey, the revelation about that. You're just watching open lawlessness now. You just turn on the TV and you can see it, and that's what they want. It's all by design. And doesn't that make you feel better that I can tell you it's all by design? It's the globalists. This is what they want. Don't you feel better now?
No.
You're supposed to. Right. This is all what they're up to. Any other questions before I get started on what I was going to talk about? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, that's not the Liberty Tour. That's the Jefferson Assembly. No, the Liberty Tour is before that. And we were originally going to have the Liberty Tour on the 17th, but surgery and things like that, 17th of September, but we couldn't do that. And so, but we're going to be pumping everybody to go on the 30th to the Second Assembly after our do up there. The Liberty Tour is the 28th and 29th of this month. Specifically in his room on the 28th will be Jeanette Finicum. Doors open at 6:30 and close it around this time when we get done. Yes? Yeah, there's flyers. You want to hold that up and show everybody? And I have some flyers up here. In fact, you can pass these around if you want. You can be the paper monitor today. Handing out the class assignment. I have no knowledge of Donald Trump being here. Rumor is one of the sons might be here. You have to buy, this is Friday night, the Trump rally. See if I get this right. Carla's back there fact-checking me right now. I feel like Lester Holtz. And anyway, doors open at what time, Carla?
I don't know, it says 8 a.m. or 8 p.m.
8. This is for the Donald Trump rally on Friday.
6
Here.
6
p.m.
And you have to have a ticket. No one will be allowed in without a ticket. And on page 3 of the bulletin handed out tonight, there's the URL you can go to, and there's a 800 number you can call if you don't have the internet.
Okay, if you don't have the internet, call the 800 number and someone will help you. Okay? Get the ticket because you have to have a ticket. These tickets are security tickets. And, you know, they've got all kinds of things on them for security reasons.
And the first 100 will receive a Trump Pence sign.
So did you hear that? The first 100 will receive a Trump Pence sign. For your front yard, and the way things are going with them, people like them so much, you might put it electrify your signs. Johnny.
Put red and white and blue lights on it, make it flash.
Okay, that was one of my subjects I was going to talk about. Johnny, I'm glad you brought that up. Polling is very corrupt. And thanks to our own Katie Grimes, who we've had here, she's a reporter with, what's it called, Focus Factor? No, that's not it. Well, I can't. Yeah. Anyway, I'll think of it here in a second. But she's also with ReaganBaby.com, and so is Megan Barth is her name, B-A-R-T-H. And they have been writing about the California election on June 7th and the provisional ballots. The provisional ballots that came out. Anybody who walked up to the polling place and they weren't assigned a party, they were given a provisional ballot as long as it was a Democratic voter. Well, this is legal. That part's legal. But the problem is, you had a lot of these people, kids, millennials, that signed up and registered properly and should have been on the list, but weren't on the list. Then they were given a provisional ballot, and at the end of the day, all the provisional ballots were put in the back room and never counted. Estimated 7 million votes weren't counted. The vast majority, of course, were for the burn. And it's been estimated now that the burn, as I predicted he would, actually won California in a landslide. Now, here's part of the gimmicks that we're getting into, and we're advising people, vote in person, get your receipt, go down the next day to voter registration, register our voters, and demand to make sure with your receipt in hand, you want them to be accountable that your vote was counted. We have to get in the faces of these people now. We have to put the face with the ballot. This is what we have to do. It's not probably going to stop at this time, of course not, but we have to do something to be proactive to say enough is enough. But what happened in Ohio, an electrical worker walked in, this is in Ohio just recently, there's also a situation in Kentucky. In Ohio, an electrical worker went into a building, he was doing some general maintenance, he saw some black boxes, opened up the black boxes, and in the black boxes were tens of thousands of Ohio ballots that were all marked for the Democrats coming up for the November 8th election. All of them. This is the kind of stuff that goes on. So they'll just go grab those things and put them off into any county that might be looking bad, and they get put into the roll sheets. And they go as Hillary Clinton ballots. That's why in Ohio, we're speculating that in Ohio and now Kentucky, Hillary has pulled out.
That audio stuff can handle this up.
Yeah, she's not even campaigning.
She's not campaigning in Ohio or Colorado now. Or Kentucky. The fix is, what, pardon me? You mean Stone?
In other words, she knows she's got.
Yeah, well, of course, what do you think? I mean, come on, let's be, I love being Mr. Obvious. Player. Okay, when I tell you that's what is going on, yes. So, it's called the duck thing. You ever heard this story? Yeah. When it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, and it waddles, it's got feathers, it's got web feet, it flies, and you're going quack, quack. That's called a duck.
It's crooked.
And I just described to you a duck about the elections. In Kentucky, similar situation going on there.
I like the Reno snake better.
I like the snake story, yeah. And that's true. Used to handle venomous snakes as a biology teacher. That's a lot of fun. But that's what's going on with the ballots. And here in California, people are scrambling because these articles are out there. We're now finding out because of the internet, we're able to cross-communicate, and we're finding out. So that's a good thing. We're calling for, on Agenda 21 Radio, starting to impact people, because I was on, in fact, tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, I'll be on Philadelphia station. We reach about 7 million people. And I'm calling for a national boycott of the NFL on Sunday. And it's real passive-aggressive. My position is we just turn off the NFL, period. Just don't watch it for the whole day.
Yeah.
Drive their viewership down.
That's this Sunday?
That's this Sunday.
Okay.
And the response I'm getting from my listeners is, Paul, that's not a problem. We stopped watching the NFL altogether. That's what I'm getting. And we're talking about dozens of people who have contacted me about that. You can see my Facebook. There's people saying it on Facebook. So that's this Sunday. We're going to see if there's any kind of reaction. By the way, the ratings of the NFL are in the tank since Colin Kaepernick started doing his thing. Okay, what else do you want to talk about? Yes, sir. Hey, hang on. He's got a question. Yes, sir.
Is Hillary really dead? Do you give any credence to those?
What?
No, but I can tell you that there are 2 people that want her dead.
Oh, there's 3!
4.
Maybe
4. Wow! No, the word that I hear, I probably shouldn't talk about this, but I'll just talk about it because it's time to do that. There are two people who want her dead. This is the word that it's in the security systems out there. The first one is Bill Clinton, and the other one is Barack Obama. And the story is that they're trying to assassinate her by putting poison in her humidifier at night. And what happened on 9/11 is and they're doing it slowly. They're doing it slowly. And they don't want they want it to be a process, not an event. And they put a little too much in that Saturday night on the 10th of September. Just a little too much. So she got wobbly, you know. Now listen, I got to tell you, it sounds like a joke, doesn't it? And I'm kind of smiling and everything. And the guy who told me this has never been wrong in 6 years of working with him. And I still kind of can't believe it. But I'm just a messenger. So don't kill me with my CPAP machine. Okay, let's don't do that.
I was reading tonight that they were loading the mannequin in the van. That wasn't really her.
Oh, well, that's good to know. Then obviously the poison just didn't quite work. But no, there's a substantial problems with her that come from her brain injury that she had. And a lot of people, there's stories too that I have not followed up on the story. I haven't asked my people except one time. They said this story I'm about to tell you is true, but she was involved in a plane crash as part of her mission going from Iran to Qatar. And this goes back to the days when they were arranging the armament shipments that were coming out of Qatar. The United States bought these weapons, and they put them into Qatar, and Qatar was transporting them into Benghazi. So she was in a plane crash, then the damage were pretty badly. That's the story. My one source says, I don't do things really, I don't put it on the general radio unless I have more than 2 people of this caliber telling me this. Now, I haven't asked the other ones, but she's got some brain damage that's going on, and she's under serious observation, obviously, by the whole country. But she has epilepsy, and a lot of doctors say she has epilepsy. My experience with epileptics, being with kids, is I've seen the petit mal symptoms on her all the time. And those of you, if there's any epileptics in here, you'd probably confirm that. So, yeah, she's a very seriously ill person. Dorothy? Oh, yeah.
Son? Black kid?
Yeah, William? Is that his name? No, I should look it up. Yeah, this is a story that actually started in the 80s. It goes way back. Right, and the amazing thing is this kid's 30 years old now. And man, if you look a side-by-side picture of the two, it's like, I'm into genotype and phenotype. You guys familiar with that? For genetics, genes as your gene type, what expresses your physical trait called your pheno, what is seen, phenotype. So as a biologist, I'm way into phenotypes. And then I start digging into the genotype. So where we have it now is, wow, the phenotype says, that could be your son. It's got he's got the bulbous nose, he's a black kid. He's half white, half black. So what, Black Lives Matter, right?
Yep. You paid his mother to go away.
Well, by the way, there's pictures of her, and she's a very attractive black lady. Even today, as old as she supposedly is. But the young man has the jawline, unmistakable, and he's got the bulbous type nose that Clinton has. Almost like if you paint it red, he looks like a clown. But that story came out, it was on Drudge, and I got a call from Philadelphia saying, have you seen Drudge? And I said, no. And I pulled it up and said, oh, this is an October surprise. All right, let me tell you about the October surprise, and then we have to go because I know everybody wants to go party. The October surprise is coming out tomorrow from Julian Assange, and with WikiLeaks. And I'll just kind of blab it out here, some of it what I know. Our very own Scott Bennett is going to be front and center, featured by these WikiLeaks. And what that means is this. Donald Trump has for weeks been saying about Hillary Clinton and the emails, follow the what?
Money.
The money. Haven't you heard him say that? Okay. Tomorrow we'll be able to follow where the money trail ends. And if you got the book Shell Game from Scott, if you were at the Liberty Tour and saw Scott or watched the 48-minute video, go home tonight, re-watch it again, because get ready. There's a lot of emails that are now coming out from WikiLeaks that pinpoint the research that Scott and the other guy, I can't remember his name right now, did. And quite frankly, we were in touch, Scott and myself were in touch with the Trump campaign about 3 months ago. So they have this information. This information came out from the Liberty Tour July 7th, July 7th, 2015. And remember, ISIS was raging at that time. Robert Exer put it together. By the middle of July, we had it produced. It was out on the website. And by the end of July, and we know this because we fact-checked, we've worked with people, and also Scott has appeared numerous times on RTTV, that's Russian television. And Vladimir Putin in September, August, September, in that time range, watched the video of the Liberty Tour. He watched the video of the Liberty Tour, and he made some mid-course corrections. You go back and look at the history, you can see this. He completely changed his approach about America and treating America and what was going on. And so he started bombing ISIS. That's when he started saying, we're not going to do this. And so the Obama administration, that's why they're so radicalized against Putin, is because, you know, they want to stop him. They want to stop him from destroying Obama's army, ISIS. You see, Putin had the facts about ISIS, had a lot of facts, but seeing that video and having it interpreted, then going back and looking at the Shell Gang book and everything, the Russians put it all together about the financing end of it. United Bank of Switzerland, HSBC, who, by the way, who was on the board of HSBC at the time this was all going down in 29 and 10, but none other than, drum roll please, James Comey. Helping to finance terrorism, James Comey. Have we connected some dots for you, ladies and gentlemen? Does that make sense? It makes sense, doesn't it? That's why I say, you know, hey, the party's about almost over here. And Larry's giving me the book. No throat slitting, please. I'm a little, but it comes down to what we were talking about here. It's all right in front of your face, you know. And you have to believe it now. So don't doubt your own thoughts about corruption and what you're seeing. And my position is, internalize it, see it, now get angry and do something about it and be proactive. This is what put me on the radio. Because I got to do something. Right? So, listen, everybody in here is a terrorist with this administration. On yourself, you're a terrorist, it's wonderful. And that guy's the worst.
Hey, Tom! You gotta exercise, it might as well be your job.
That's right, yeah.
Wasn't the Patriot Act drafted
Right. It came after the thing with the Germans. If it seems a little Nazi-esque in America, that's because it is Nazi-esque. Again, that's another obvious thing. Yes, ma'am. One more comment, and then we gotta leave. Well, that's too bad. Julian Assange.
Not till Wednesday.
Let me explain that to you. I explained it on the Sunday show yesterday. By the way, we're broadcasting on Sunday, Agenda21 Radio live from 12 to 3. Wikiman is our board person. And we're seeking donations to keep it afloat, by the way. We're trying to do $50 per person so we can keep the bill paid and all that stuff to Mr. Huth, so we can have conservative radio, because Live with Lou is on, the Wikiman is on, and we've got some other conservative talk show hosts, so now we have this whole Sunday of conservatism. But, okay, this is what's happening. What happened, Marcus Levin is completely wrong. Assange is coming out tomorrow. And what happened was there were security concerns that happened on Saturday, and Assange said, no, we're going to wait. And then he said, I'm coming out on Wednesday, not Tuesday. Then they found out the security concerns were okay, and the latest, just before I left the office, was that he's definitely going to happen. It's going to happen tomorrow morning.
You don't give your
No, I mean, it's a security thing. Guys go out there with guns and blow people away. And so that's part of the problem that you have. One last question, then we're out of here.
You said that. Last question.
Right. In Nevada City, right. Right.
Take care.
Chris Ann Hall. Bocce Galupi. Yeah.
Good night. You take care.
That, you, give me a high five, bro. Give me a high five. All right, all right. You're getting it. You're getting it.
Okay.
Our little radio show, our little tea party
We see you Friday.
has a lot of influence
Down on the street, huh? You gotta be waving that flag. Where's your Trump hat? Where's your Trump hat?
For 5 years.
I got the stickers.
I got one free. They sent me a free
You're going to
one.
realize how
did, yeah.
important you
I
have
saved
been
$25,
preventing
but they sent me a free hat.
Observing liberty, by the way. I just want to lay
What
that
happened to
out.
your eye?
Anyway, thanks
Carla
for
did
listening to
that?
me rant and rave. And I got 30 minutes left. 4 minutes left to the show tonight. 14:10 a.m. Listen to it. Red State Talk Radio tomorrow morning. Tons of information coming out. 6 to 9 a.m. Pacific. The encore show goes in 9 to 12. That's Red State Talk Radio. And that's our national feed. So thank you very much. Okay, now we can go home.